All right, so my favorite example for B2B SaaS, I forgot to add a label here. Anyhow, so my favorite example for B2B SaaS company is Hockey Stack. I'm pretty sure all of you heard about Hockey Stack. They're really doing an awesome job. It's an attribution tool. Actually, it explains it here, analytics and attribution tool for SaaS companies. And from what I've seen, they're doing a really good job in marketing waiting room, building their marketing waiting room, although they probably don't call it this way yet. I'm sure they're doing more than this, but I just wanted to show you a couple of examples of what they're doing. So first and foremost, they are leveraging their employees' LinkedIn profiles, right? So everybody, or at least the most crucial roles, have their LinkedIn profiles really pimped up. They really scream Hockey Stack. So everything is like really, I can show you here, this branded background with colors of Hockey Stack. They all have Hockey Stack in the first like line here in their descriptions. Hockey Stack, this is also very visible here. So it's like everywhere they go, Hockey Stack is going with them. Everywhere, everything that they are talking about, they're linking it to Hockey Stack. Their Hockey Stack is visible through all these employees, right? And so this is also how they attract, retain, persuade, and sell also, because these employees, they talk about like, you know, their experiences, but also they're talking about the problems that their target audience are experiencing and that Hockey Stack solves, and that persuades them to really go and check out that Hockey Stack website and eventually buy. And there is another kind of layer here on this track, and that is LinkedIn influencers profile. So they basically plug themselves into other people's waiting rooms and take a little bit of that real estate right there to be in front of as many people as possible continuously, right? So I don't know if you've heard, but they did B2B Netflix for marketers. And they essentially, what they did is they created a B2B Netflix kind of looking like a space where influencers have their own shows, and influencers were paid to create their own shows under the Hockey Stack brand or umbrella. So that was very visible. Every time an influencer posted a video under this umbrella, it was Hockey Stack. So Hockey Stack really grew really quickly. All of a sudden, everybody started talking about them, right? And that's how not only employees and the influencers got more visibility, and Hockey Stack as a brand got more visibility, but also their company page got more followers, where they also can keep them retained by showing organic content and also retargeting them with ads, for example, like this, right? So on LinkedIn, they're retargeting them. So you're constantly you're constantly exposed to their brand. You cannot forget about them, right? And also, of course, yeah, LinkedIn ads, just top of the funnel LinkedIn ads really lead to the company page, where they have a lot of stuff going on there as well. So their page is really well optimized. There's also a lot of stuff going on here. They're getting great engagement on their posts as well, and they're posting really original content that is created actually by, for example, this guy, head of growth, right? So they're really empowering their employees to do content there and really share experiences. So yeah, this is B2B SaaS example of a waiting room. Any questions so far? Oh, Sarah. That's so cool about Hockey Stack. Yes, this is really my favorite brand. I love what they're doing there. All right, if there are no questions here, then I'll move on to the next example, which is agency/consultant. And here's where my example comes in. And it's interesting because I started with LinkedIn with my personal brand, and I started a couple of months ago. And a couple of months ago, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea where I was going. I only knew that I was a consultant who didn't want to be a consultant, but I didn't have any idea what else I could do. So I just started my personal brand, and I knew that I had to be like, there was this pressure to be on all the different channels and repurposing content wherever you can. But I was just very reluctant because I didn't understand really where I'm going. I didn't know what I was doing exactly. So I just stuck with LinkedIn, where I was experimenting a lot and I was gathering audience. I was gathering fans. And that's where I came up with the idea of the waiting room, or I came up with an idea of a waiting room by accident when I was talking to a client. And then I started talking about this on LinkedIn, and that started to spread like really like wildfire. So that was a confirmation for me. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is where I should focus on. And now it makes sense for me to add more channels on top of that, on top of my personal brand. So then I thought, okay, what is my bigger vision? What do I want to achieve with this marketing waiting room? And then my vision was like, I really want to create a system that all the businesses in the entire world are going to be implementing, using, talking about it. There's going to be like job titles, marketing waiting room specialists, whatever. That's my bigger vision, right? What channels, what kind of content, what experiences will help me achieve this vision? So I was thinking, okay, newsletter. Well, LinkedIn is not going to really help me achieve this vision because people's attention span is very short on LinkedIn. And this concept really requires a lot more attention than just 2 seconds that you get, right? So I thought, okay, newsletter, it's pretty much the same thing. I cannot really explain in words what this means, right? Video is good, but it's not it yet, because I cannot really teach people and help them really massage it into their businesses. So I came up with a community, and that's how I chose this channel, and I put it on the stack. And that's how I connect now my personal brand to my community. So I extend this value that I'm giving here to community. Also, I created my company page so that I kind of have a little bit more options, because if I have my company page, then I can also do LinkedIn ads, which will bring more eyes to my personal brand and my company page, where I'm going to be sharing more and more about the community, what I'm doing with the marketing waiting room, and that will bring more people to my community, right? So this really shows you how I created this waiting room in that sense. And this is these are the boundaries right here, and I can do all the crazy stuff that I want within these boundaries, and I will not add any tracks on top of that until I know that the community and my LinkedIn are running smooth, and I'm ready to add another channel to it or another tactic to it. Now, one small thing here. When I was doing my LinkedIn, and that was the only thing that I was doing, it was not only content, right? So you have this one channel, but you do a couple of, so you have to, with this one channel, you have to achieve these functions right here. So what I was doing is I was sending content out there, I was throwing content out there, and people were attracted to this content. So there were people who were engaging, but there were also people who were not engaging, but they were following me and they were checking out my profile. And I was closely checking out who is doing that. So then I could really use DMs to connect with them. So I asked them, for example, hey, I saw that you connected with me or you followed me. Thanks so much for that. I'm curious what exactly triggered that. And then people were like, oh yeah, I actually wanted to work with you, right? And if I didn't do that, if I didn't proactively go and have this conversation with them, then they would probably kind of drop out. They would not check my content, because there are some people that really, they follow you, but they might not see your content because of many reasons. So you really have to do extra effort to stay on top of mind, right? To stay on top of their minds in any way you can, because you want to have this claim a little bit more real estate in their mind, right? So immediately I'm sending a message, hey, what triggered you? And then if it's necessary, if they don't want to have a call just yet, I send them a Loom video so that they see me, they feel my vibe. And that's, progressively it creates more and more. This is the experience they have with my brand, right? So I want to make sure that they really, really remember me. So this is how you kind of have to think about, like, okay, I'm using this channel or these couple of channels, and what exactly am I going to do within these channels, within this waiting room, to claim more and more real estate in my buyers' minds, right? All right, questions. Veronique, That's a great tip. Do you do this for followers as well, or only connections? I do this for followers. I do this for connections. I do this for anybody who's checking me out, who just views my profile. And sometimes I even do this when I'm engaging with somebody on somebody's posts, and I see somebody interesting in the comments. Then I just start talking with them in the comments, and then I send a connection request, and I try to really keep this relationship close with people that are high potential for me. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yeah. It's not easy to do, but yeah, I think it's a great tip. I mean, it takes a lot of, those people are people you don't know, so it's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
the more you do this, the more you kind of learn that you somehow switch from, hey, I'm here to sell, to I'm here to make friends.
Yeah.
Essentially, you just have to make friends, and friends talk about friends, and then friends maybe buy even from friends, and if not friends, then friends of friends will buy from you. That's how it goes. So it's a long process. It takes some time. You need to get used to it, but you'll get there. I hated sales. I was scared of that. I didn't know what to do, but now I'm kind of embracing it, and I'm sure anybody can. Marta, do you send connection requests with a note or not? It depends. If I have a good reason to say something, like, hey, I noticed whatever, I don't know, I liked what you said in that comment specifically, then I do that. But usually I don't try to force that because it looks spammy and it's like, hey, like I'm here to take something from you. So if you don't have a good reason, don't do it. Rohita, okay. What other B2B companies are great examples for having good marketing waiting rooms? Dream Data. What else? B2B specifically. I don't remember top of my mind, but I have a very big Notion file where I keep all of them and I really track them. So I'll share that with you afterwards. Hootsuite. Oh yeah, good one. Factors.ai. Nice. Oh, I'm going to add these into my file. Let me make a note here to share.
Yeah, Factors, just to make a comment, did such a great job lately on a webinar. It was actually a LinkedIn Live. So LinkedIn Live is good because when you're scrolling your feed, you can see, oh, it's live. A topic resonated with me. I entered, and the strategy was that they were interviewing their very new customer that was also an expert in a topic that they were doing this webinar around, which was warm lead signals. And that guy was Daniel Dylan Hay, who has...
Oh, I know him. Yeah.
So he has like 20,000 followers on LinkedIn, and he's a CEO of Hey Digital, which is a performance marketing agency. So he did really great personal branding for him and the agency, but also he was talking about this tool in a way that really made me... I immediately actually went to check it out, and I'm going to get a demo from them next week for my client. But I thought that it was such a genius strategy, so waiting room, but also having content that immediately shows what your product can do, but also mixing it kind of with like an influencer marketing approach. So brilliant.
Yeah. And Marta, sorry, I have a question. So this was a live session, or it works also if you have a video, like if you would just post videos, or is it specific to live on LinkedIn?
Well, in that example, it was a LinkedIn Live, but they recorded it and then it was available as a webinar recording as well.
Okay, got it. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice, love it. Thanks for sharing this, Marta. I'm going to keep close attention to this brand now. All right. Okay, let's move on to the last example, which is a B2C apps and platforms, and I chose Blinkist. Not sure if any of you know this. For those of you that don't, it's an app that summarizes books, right? So you can get access to audio summaries of books. Oh, really? Nice. Former client. Look at that. So you did build the waiting rooms for them?
We just did a content strategy, like build clusters. Yes,
Okay.
in a bit, yes.
Yeah.
for one of the segments, B2B segments.